there could be basically baseball in a bubble in Arizona in as soon as May. Uh, I didn't really get much of your reaction on this, Brooke. What are your thoughts, Chief?
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, like, what your opinion was. Like, what side do you fall on? Do you fall more on the this is plausible side, or this is not plausible side? What side of the fence do you think you're on?
Well, if we're being logical
Pulling
about
em-
it,
pulling emotions out. What
yeah,
side do you
if we're
fall on?
being logical about this, this definitely feels on the not logical side of the fence. Um, you know, we're all here, still stuck at home. May is less than a month away. I just you can't see that happening. You just really can't see that happening.
Yeah. So if you guys didn't get to read about it or hear it or anything like that, if you live under a rock but only watch our show for some reason, that would be strange. But
Weird.
basically the breakdown of it is that Major League Baseball wants to get games going as fast as possible, and to do so, the best thing to do would to be to do kind of what Dana White's doing, where he's buying an island and putting everybody on it, but the island is Arizona because nobody ever goes to Arizona. So put everybody in those spring training facilities and at Chase Field where the Diamondbacks play. Those become the almost like dormitories, like you're almost living there and doing baseball, and that's all you do all the time, and you don't really get to leave your bubble. And it's just basically trying to limit as much interaction with the outside world as possible so that baseball can get going, so that they don't keep losing out on television deals and sponsorships and things like that. They're gonna lose out on ticket sales. That's inevitable at this point. There's no going back on that. But at least there's some chance that they're going to get baseball started. If anything, the only thing that this really did for me when I was reading it, I know a lot of people got excited or angry one way or the other. I think the only thing this did for me was like, okay, well, they're working on something like that. That gives me a little bit of hope that they can at least say that, like, hey, it's being worked on, even if it's not a realistic possibility at this point. It's being worked on.
Yeah.
And I think one of the biggest obstacles that I've read so far, I mean, it sounds like the logistics aren't even the biggest obstacle, which you would think it would be.
Yeah.
But it sounds like one of the biggest ones is like, hey, players have to be away from their families for that long. And I get that, but also if you're getting paid as much as they could potentially be getting paid, I don't know about you, man. I'm going away from my family for 8 months. And I'm okay. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, Passon and Gary, we'll get your feedback or your thoughts on this in a minute too, being the resident family man here. But Passon talked about that, how he spoke with, one of his baseball folks that he has in his Rolodex. Because he's OG like that. He does carry around a Rolodex, people's cards and scraps of paper and napkins with names on it. But he talked to a player who was like, hell, well, he said, F no way in hell I'm doing that. And then the next day, the guy texts back and he's like, so I talked to my wife. And what happened was, she's like, if we go and get paid, I'm all for it.
So my wife said, I have to go.
Gary, resident family man, what's your take on this? What's the amount of money it's going to take to get you away from the family? And keep in mind, everybody's been quarantined with their family for a while, so this is probably the very wrong time to be asking.
Yeah, it's hard to
family
ask.
about it.
I mean, for them, I think they get to see their families at probably they're away from their family. What the longest is like 2 weeks in a normal season, right? And like this is 4 months, and it's tough. I mean, like I've been on business trips where I'm away to like Europe for like three weeks. That was tough. This one's 4 months. And like, on the business trips, you're like, this is for the family. I'll sleep in a hotel. This sucks. Whatever. These guys, 4 months, they're doing the same thing. It's going to be, they're playing baseball. They're doing it for the country. If you really think about it, that's my take on it, is that this country needs something to cheer for, something new, something not the news, and I think if they can like, step up for the country and like suck it up for like 4 months, to play, that's not too bad. And like they're gonna have the best medical facilities. They're gonna have the best testing. Something's gonna happen, I think, because someone's gonna sneak in somebody,
Yeah.
and something's gonna happen, and that's gonna ruin the whole thing. But I feel like even with that risk, I don't know. I just feel like for the country, it's just the morale, just to give everybody just some happiness. I think I would like for them to step up. I don't know if I'm being selfish or not. But right now, like doctors and nurses, grocery workers, they're all stepping up. They're making it.
Yeah.
They're stepping up for us to like be able to continue our life. And I just feel like baseball, you guys get super security, super medical staff. None of these, grocery workers and essential people are getting that. And
Right.
And they're endangering their family every day by going home. These guys
Yeah.
are protecting their families and still making money for them. So it's a really
Plus
tough
with
call right now.
plus with baseball players, the athletes and all that, these are people that are, except for somebody like Bartolo Colon, these are all people that are in tip-top shape. They're supposed to be in hashtag best shape of their life and all that. They're the type of folks that could, conceivably recover from something if it should happen. But that's the whole idea of this biodome, of this bubble. It's everybody's going to be kind of in their own realm, in their own world, and not really have access to the outside world. And, Brooke, I'm sure you were old enough for this one, or if not, you've seen the clips plenty. Gary, you're talking about like what it means to the country and like the just kind of sort of some semblance of restarting it. And you think of that Mike Piazza home run from the Mets, a week after 9/11 happened, and just how much that meant. You had W throwing out the first pitch
The
and
strike.
the strike, dude. W like
Gunned it in, man.
that boy could get it. That's an athlete right there.